playoff experience for Julius Randle, which is hard to believe at this stage of his career, 7 years in, as Atlanta finally gets its first points with Trae Young, who's also on the postseason stage. So huge and instrumental for the Knicks down the stretch of the season.
Yeah, and that's going to be a question and a concern as Trae continues, gets to that mid-range, able to knock that jumper down.
Tough little floater from Elfrid Payton, his first take. And both teams a little bit off. Here comes Young, lobbing inside to Capella.
Yeah, and also not allowing him those unabated attacks at the rim. And how about Atlanta able to get an offensive rebound there? And Capella with the putback.
Knicks third in the league this season in three-point percentage. But overall so far, they're 2 of 13. Up top, it's Young. Beautiful dime. And it's thrown down by John Collins. The Knicks, GA, have not had many second-chance opportunities.
And credit Atlanta. That was a point of emphasis for them in terms of their scouting and preparation. And when you're struggling to make shots get to the rim, that's what the Knicks are starting to do here. But the Hawks are starting to heat up from beyond.
They're within 4.
And this is where, if you're Trae Young, it's time for you to kind of get going.
Offensive rebound, Capella, we told you, led the league in both overall rebounds and offensive. Into the corner, Collins, and he hits a 3 again.
Yeah, Payton started the game, short leash for him. He was pulled right away.
Alley up to Collins, throws it down. What a great pass from Young. And Collins has 12 points.
There's Jamal Crawford, someone who knows what this place feels like. Former Knick. Trae Young from way outside. 11 points, 6 assists. And that was his 3rd rebound of the night. On the wing for Hunter. Mid-range jumper. High archer is good.
And right now, the Knicks are controlling the pace and the tempo of this game. And Trae Young there with that beautiful floater and to get his guys going.
Tough shot at the rim by Payton, and the rebound underneath by Collins. Here comes Young all the way to the cup. Trae Young putting him on his back. The other thing you mentioned during the break, Atlanta playing at a little bit faster pace.
Yes. Yeah.
Something that Dave McMillan mentioned to us early.
Yeah, I think they have to. And here you go again. I think it's to the advantage of the Knicks if you're playing the last 7 seconds of the shot clock.
Trae Young has scored the last 6 for Atlanta. Here he comes, turning the corner, going glass. One of the biggest pieces of this Knicks team under Tom Thibodeau.
And then they give him the responsibility of guarding the other team's best player.
Capella on a tough catch in traffic.
And the only important element of that is, does it affect how he plays rest of the game? How about that pass?
Bogdanovich. That's a 3-point jack.
That shouldn't dissuade you from making plays with the basketball.
Here comes Young behind the back. This is Hunter. That's a 3.
On cue, able to answer.
Young turns the corner, hits the floater, and he's got a chance at a 3-point play.
Defensively on the point. Let's see how they play this.
Here is Young. Finds his spot. Young on the floater, puts it in. Trae Young with a miraculous shot.
Trae Young had him on skates here. Going 3 to leg, crossing him up, double cross there. He gets all the way to the basket, which he's been doing all night long.
How about this for a garden party?
That's just a beautiful shot. Beautiful shot there by Trae. Again, just crosses him up. That's a thing of beauty. Gets all the way under the defense. Bottoms.
But the Hawks' work is not yet done.
In all standing. Knicks looking for a miracle. Inbound to Randle. Fadeaway shot. And it's over.
Nerlens Noel played in 24 minutes. But an ankle injury, and he never came back at the end of the game as Young gets up a 3 and knocks down his first shot of the game. Atlanta only turned the ball over 6 times in Game 1 in their victory. And now Young finding Hunter in the corner, and he knocks down a 3-pointer. DeAndre Hunter. fighting for the loose ball, able to score it at the rim. Up ahead, camping Bogdanovich, and an easy 2 for the Hawks. To the point where hopefully we're back in arenas soon. We are delighted to be with you here tonight. As Young, the little float game is true for Ice Trae.
Instead of settling for long, deep jump shots, now get yourself in the lane. Now, excellent pass right here with his left hand to a cutting Bogdanovich.
Young and Capella, and now Young for 3. Got it. Cash money, Trae Young. Well, I've heard Tom Thibodeau say sometimes the best defense we can have on Trae Young as Bogdanovich rattles another one home.
And you know, once again, Bogdanovich was there. Guess what? He took away the driving lane.
Oh, long-range 3 from Trae Young. A 30-footer is good from Young.
Try to anticipate how far he's away right there. Might be a 30-footer.
Yeah, that's about 30 feet outside.
Yeah.
Gallinari's on him. Capella there for help. And cutting to the basket, Rose. Oh, denied by Capella. Hawks in transition. Here goes Young. Randall is there. Oh, what a finish by Trae Young with a reverse. 4.
And Young previously from the logo. And Capella blocked the shot. Young wheeling and dealing off the glass.
The Atlanta Hawks lead by 11, winning game 1. And here is Trae Young, cashes another one in. And Jimmy, Trae Young now with 12 here in the second quarter.
Defensive rebounding went up, so you wonder why they got 17 and 7. Well, it's been all these little things that added up, not just one thing that culminated. Plus, if you have a guy like Trae Young that can do that at any given time.
All these months, Knicks fans wanting to know why Elfrid Payton continues to remain in the starting lineup as Trae Young buries a mid-range jumper.
Elfrid Payton's defense, he's 6'3", he can play defense, he's long, he can guard multiple positions. That's why his minutes are limited. And once again, Trae Young.
Oh, what an answer for Atlanta on the other end. They continue to have answers. Bogdanovich has had a terrific night. All 11 points coming in the third. Crowd is up. Young, little floater is good. Clint Capella's got 11 rebounds, has not scored in this game. Up top, this is Young. He'll take it himself. Gets the bounce. Started late in the third quarter, carried over into the fourth quarter. Trae Young finds Capella. He's on his way to the rack and lays it in with the left hand. 2-point game. Atlanta can tie or take the lead. Work it inside, up top for Capella. Trae Young delivers a beauty to Clint Capella.
He could be on some sort of minutes restriction. He played through a significant amount of pain in game 2, Noel. And right away, what happens, right? A point at the basket for the Atlanta Hawks.
Kicks it to the 3 for Barrett. And Barrett has been a much better three-point shooter this year, but missed on that one. Young in a rush with the left. Got it. Wow, what a blur down the floor.
Did not shoot for a high percentage in scoring his 26 2 nights ago. A bump and one for Trae.
He's crafty. He's got excellent handle. The guy is taking.
New York up 10-8. Young kicks it out to Collins. His floater is good. John Collins with his first field goal. R.J. Barrett not forcing it. Hunter again got to the hoop.
Come on now, how about that quick first step?
Gets his third field goal on the long mid-range. Young roller hits Capella for the slam.
Bogdanovich missed a couple of shots already. Give him the in-out dribble. Point on pass. Nicely done.
Young across the midcourt line as we approach 2 minutes to go here in the first period. Another deep 3. This one drops.
Back-to-back possessions, multiple efforts, excellent help.
Gallinari for 3. And now with the Knicks. Bogdanovich closely guarded on the wing. Deep 3 by Young. Splash. Wow.
Not yet gotten untracked in this series. He's 0 for 3 tonight.
He hadn't been heard from. He's not played well.
Trae and Collins lobbed to John for the stop.
Bogdanovich trying to get open, being dogged defensively by Bullock. Young kicks it out to a wide open Collins. The side pocket three is butter. Boy, they continue to make Julius Randle play in a crowd. A long two by Young in rhythm. Trae Young with 14. Got a mismatch here, although Randle a good defender. They'll switch with him. Young with the drive by the line. Capella with the punch. Enough to feed the needy. And in his Louis bag. Handing it off to his teammates.
Bogey back to Trae. Fakes Bullock. Gives it back to Bogey. Got it! Gets that first one to go.
Give them credit. I said it. They're running 3 defenders at him. Gallo's got him now, Julius. And he's got the length to close any separation Julius creates.
Hunter. Young working against Rose. Good help by Gibson on that 2-man game. A lob for Capella with the left hand.
Wow.
Here's Young. Thought about pulling. Got into the paint. And there's that floater that has been on. He's got 16. Lead is down to 13 for Atlanta. Young with a nice in and out move. Boy, that float game is on point.
Guy who led the league in floaters attempted, Mr. Trae Young. Looks like he's going to use the screen. What'd you say to float game?
Cross court to Hunter. Tough foul line jumper is good. Man, played through the contact and got it to fall.
Well, the guys who've hurt them is Randle and Barrett has not been very active.
That's a goaltend. Noel came up through the rim.
Knicks had an opportunity. Down by 14. Young into the paint. Through the contact, though, and he says quickly too little. Young out top. Great cross-court pass off the dribble. And welcome to Atlanta, where the players play. Working against Bullock to start the game. Little high ball screen by Collins. He's got a deadly floater and connects for the game's first 2 points. And Young back in transition. Probing underneath. Boy, what a find to Capella. 1 for 4 start. Young into the paint. Great pass again to Capella. A little room service for Capella. Little fade away from the baseline. No good. 2 for 6 now in the ball game. Young in a rush. Got it. Man, he stepped on the accelerator. Capella has been a rock for the Hawks this year. 15 points, 14 rebounds on the season. And Young with the steal. Walks out to the 3-point line. Butter. Young inside again to Capella. Man, they are hooking up. The 3rd time they've made a nice dime from close range.
RJ, you're in the rear view. Hit him with the in-out. How about the bounce pass? Mr. Capella, easy money.
Got 4 quick points. Young draws the foul. Count it. Icy.
So Bullock is ISO'd 1-on-1. And there's contact early. Good contact. At 6'1", 185 pounds. That level of competitive spirit has got to be there at that size.
Got to have it. And got to have jumpers that are wet like that. Randle fades away, misfires, and rebounded by Trae. Quickly down court. Collins with the slam.
And Bogdanovich agreed, telling me, yeah, he's like a Ferrari, but he's just learning how to drive that car, and that's scary. John Collins said the difference he's noticed in Trae as he just knocks down that shot is just a cerebral approach he takes to the game now. He told me he was made for it and looking to disprove the narrative that he's not a winner.
Made a 3 a moment ago, and the thing that people forget about Young is he is a very prolific jump shooter.
Talk about the improvement offensively. His commitment and effort defensively for Julius all year has been excellent.
Young swings it over to Collins again. Knocks down the 3. Timeout, New York. Herter gets it into Collins. Now Trae Young. Slams on the brakes. Bullock needs some new brake pads after that. Wow.
Well, you touched on it. The ability to pull back that dribble, stop on a dime.
Maybe lacking a little bit of confidence at this point. Young into the paint, kicks it Bogdanovic for three. Pure.
That's why the shooting's so important around Trae.
One of the great stories on the come up this year. Young, cross court to Gallinari. Gallo with the mid-range, got it. Danilo Gallinari with his fourth field goal of the game. He's got 13. Here's Young staring down Randall. Not going for the pump fakes. Young drives by him, got it off glass.
Well, the Garden will still be electric. I think what I admire most about Knicks fans, and Mike Breen has touched on this a little bit, it hasn't mattered for their long playoff drought going into this year, Mark.
Now they blitz him, try to take it out of his hands, finds a wide open Herter from deep. That's offense, folks. A willing and discerning passer, Trae Young.
He said, I've been preparing my whole life for this moment and this time.
He's been one of the hottest shooters in the NBA over the last month. Young with the step sets it up for Capella.
Well, we said the high screen and roll. He's going to get into his floater.
Played now by Collins. Comes up short. And the rebound knocked away from Randall. Here comes Young trying to put the speed on. And makes the turn on Bullock and scores. Working off the screen with the cross court. Capella now sets the screen. Here's Young banking it home.
He is so good.
Superb regular season. Nice move here by Rose. Went through the hands of Taj Gibson. Collins on the drive, banks it home, and a foul. Has led them to a surprising regular season as they end up in the number 4 spot. Although they're trailing, obviously, in this series, 3-1 off the steal. Here come the Hawks.
The Hawks can load up their defense. It's got to be quicker than that, Marv.
Here's Bogdanovic straight down the lane.
3-point shooter throughout the regular season and has struggled in these playoffs.
Herter.
He can do that. He can do that, Marv.
Game is tied at 29, and the Hawks take the lead on the jumper by DeAndre Hunter.
Move indeed, marvelous. And they're going to need that production off the bench from Burks. The floater.
What a year it's been for Rose. Beautiful pass, and Collins finished with a reverse. And it's a 4-point Atlanta lead. Here's Young. Oh, he's able to put it up beautifully, moving from right to left. Played by Bullock now. DeAndre Hunter, yes.
You're just wondering if Derrick Rose running out of gas. 4 straight games of 30-plus minutes and hadn't done that all season since being inserted into the starting lineup as Collins knocks down.
From FanDuel, head to FanDuel.com/over-under to make your picks and compete for a share of $5,000 in prizes.
Predominantly the bench players for the Knicks.
Here's Young with the scoop off glass.
And right over the outstretched hands.
He's had a very good regular season. Step back by Young, yes. A deep 3. Gets the step. Bullet pass for Hunter. Yes. Chippiness and Clint Capella saying the other day that we're going to send the Knicks on vacation as Young hits on the floater. This coming off a magnificent regular season. Most Improved Player in the NBA award as once again Young. And here comes the standing ovation in appreciation of the Knicks season. As Young fires from way downtown and takes a bow.
Find this right here. A step back 30-footer. And the appropriate, you are in the Garden. You might as well take a bow.
Clint Capella at 6'10" is one of the quickest
from basket-to-basket players that we have in the league. This is going to put a lot of pressure on Embiid in the transition defense. He knocks down a couple of foul shots, and we're tied at 6. That's his specialty, stopping. There's that little pass alley-oop as Capella finishes beyond the three-point line. He's got the mid-range fall away, and then, like we said, just don't foul him because he's going to shoot 2 and make them. Seth Curry continuing his hot shooting, going back to the previous game against Washington, knocks down the mid-range jump shot. He had a 30-piece as Trae Young. Nobody in the NBA, Hubie, this year made more floaters. Bucks leading by a point. Young gets it back. Back out to Collins. Boy, what a great find. And Collins converts. Yeah, that's right. John Collins working against Harris. Back out top to Young. A little two-man basketball. Young on Green. There's that floater again, and it connects again. He is deadly and lethal with that shot.
Like we have plenty of guys who have a floater. But this guy going at his quickness at 6'1".
Atlanta can play the passing lanes as well as anyone. A Nate McMillan coach team is always going to play very good defense. Young with another floater. Well, let's call it a pass.
That came from the hip. And then right now, you're
done such a wonderful coaching job with him. He's made him shore up the turnovers and make the correct play. Here he goes from deep, and on cue, Trae Young with a 3-ball. Lisa.
There's a difference because Trae Young can play. I just threw the ball to Dominique Wilkins. And he said, but what makes him such a great passer is that he is a great scorer, that he knows that there's so much attention on him.
He is off to a blazing start. This is the second series. See how easily he's by? Well, the rotator is late.
He's had a solid year. He's an excellent shooter behind the line, has the mid-range stop and jump shot. Young, let's go again! And hits nothing but cord.
Look, you can change. He stops on a dime, and then he's distance not a factor. The 3 is up and in.
Has his second field goal. That's their first points in almost 6 minutes. Young with the floater, automatic. You just have to love the transition game here right now, for this team. Now you can see he got hit right in the head after the shot went up. And I'll just go see it right there. So he could have been on the line shooting 3. The big thing is or at least one of the top 3 finalists. The big thing there not only was the steal, but the ability to go up in the air and make the play. How about that?
You said going in the air.
No potential trap. This is just a great move. Once again, I'm down in the paint. Embiid leaves, Capella or whoever. You are in trouble.
Now, remember, if you have not been following that series, the home team has not won a game. Okay. Haven't seen anything like that or much like that by Trae Young. See that now in the second half. All right, you cut it down. It's manageable. Herter from the corner, and the corner 3 is pure. Missing game 5 with that knee injury. 34 seconds to go here in the first half. Young, they get the switch with Harris. A deep bomb! Oh, from way downtown. Bring it on. Young, undeterred, shooting with confidence and audacity. That's a pretty jumper, folks. 25 points, 7 dimes. Halftime coming up. Play of the offense of the Atlanta Hawks. See, no, how about the quick trap? Over to Collins.
Halftime, you're going to have to change something. You got to get your defense back because you're
now brought him in here to play against Trae Young. Young off the Capella screen, got open, and whether it's Thibault, whether it's Green, whether it's Simmons, it really just doesn't matter right now. But Young back to Herter. He's got Embiid on him. Come on, you got. All right. You have to see that. Young got all the way to the basket and slick with it with the left hand. Trae Young slams on the brakes. Probing underneath. Nobody stayed with him. Thank you very much, Trae Young. It's a killer. They throw it into the backcourt for Trae Young. Their surest ball handler throws it up, and that is the exclamation point John Collins with that smoke to say goodnight.
The pass. Now just watch as they come in there. See, Embiid was right there.
Try to get down early, exploit the offense, force Atlanta to have to guard in multiple positions on the court.
Bogdanovich has the only 2 made baskets for Atlanta. Bogdanovich has the only 2 made baskets for Atlanta. Young gets the friendly bounce. His first made basket of the game. But if you take the last 8 minutes of that game and the start of this game, they are plus 32 in the scoring department. That's Capella on the receiving end from Trae Young. And Trae Young in his first playoff experience, he is outstanding, taking all that regular season success, taking it into the playoffs. He is going to be a problem for any opponent he faces.
Smart play, go back inside to your big fella against Capella, who has 2 fouls.
Okay, Clint Capella!
By the defender on the passer to make that pass a lot harder. But it's going directly to Embiid, he can just go to work.
Here is Herder. He'll score it in the paint. 9-point Philadelphia lead. Hawks got it to 2. And Young draws the foul off the window and 1.
I didn't understand the ball kicked back around because the basket came down and the ball popped out. So it was the interference.
Which stopped the possession, I guess, gave the ball back to Atlanta. You're right. Clippers Jazz. Game 2. Game 1 of that series coming up next. Sandy lost the handle, got it back, finds Herder. Collins got it.
I like that. I like the quick pick and roll, in particular in the middle.
Joel Embiid this year shot 38% from 3-point range. Young springs free and hit the glass. Count the basket on the closeout by Danny Green. Harris had 16 in the first quarter. 20 now. The Hawks on the run. Bogdanovich with a reverse.
Too easy.
64 points from those 3. Curry, Embiid, and Harris carried the heavy load. The floater is good. Trae Young. Floater up top for Capella. Hawks down 4 with the ball. 3-pointer on its way. Oh, Bogdanovich cashes one in. Trae Young, long 3-pointer on its way, and good. He's got 36 to go along with 11 rebounds. Gallinari from Young. It's down.
Atlanta's 5 straight empty trips to see if the Hawks can get a better possession here. Corner 3 is good from Bogdanovich. Set up with Hill with the screen. Here's Embiid up top. Trae Young on him. Shot clock down to 4. Embiid falls to the ground, and Young takes it away. But a great recovery by Thibault to get the interception. He's been Herder, third-year player out of Maryland, has checked into the game, scored 20 points in Game 2, 15 points in Game 1. Here's Young with Thibault on him. Nice. There's the floater, and Young is on the board.
Now that was Thibault from the rear, almost with a block. Thibault is noted for his defense, and also the fact that he can move and help your half-court defense. I like what they're doing here right now. They're bringing bench guys, but they're leaving Simmons in there.
And there's Trae Young for 3. First triple for Young. Here's Young working on Harris. Goes to that patent floater in the paint. Trae Young with his 3rd basket. He's got 7 now. Harris trying to create some space. Puts up the fall away, and it comes up short. Gallinari is there for the board. Here's Young in transition. Greeted by Simmons. Perfect low pass to Collins for the slam. Lead back to 10, but the story has been the bench. 28 first-half bench points, the most in 25 years for Philly in the playoffs. Bogdanovich comes back and answers with a triple. Rookie out of Kentucky, Maxey, 20 years old. Here's Young at the free throw line. Around and down for Trae Young in double figures now with 10.
In this series, he's averaging 4 attempts. And you have to give him credit because he's shooting a good percentage.
There's another lob, this time Collins. Simmons will back off of Young here. Brings it across with 3 seconds to go. Young gets down the lane. That was way too easy. Give it up. A layup by Trae Young with 4/10 of the second left. It will not count. Almost a steal by Simmons, and then contact by Young, trying to create some space. Shot clock at 4. Here's a drive and a score by John Collins, who's come alive in this game 3.
The movement is, it's not smooth, and it's not getting them the spacing that they need.
Gallinari forces it up, but it drops. A 2 from Danilo Gallinari. Thibault able to connect. He's shooting just 30% from 3. Runner by Trae Young. Have to respect the lob and the floater, and Young gets the bucket. The last 2 games after that great game 1. Going to try one from the logo. That one goes down. But is it too late for Young and the Hawks with 6:45 to go, down 17. Lead is back to 16 inside 4 minutes to go. Collins, tough shot, got it to go against Tobias Harris. Atlanta down 18, 2:18 to go. Doc Rivers electing to keep his starters on the floor to try to close this out. Make sure that they don't give up some cheap threes.
And that's a beautiful number, because it really shows how unselfish they are inside the foul line area. They have just carved up the Atlanta defense inside the red painted area.
Young with the deep 3, 28 for Young.
4 misses to start our game. Atlanta winning game 1, 128-124. Sixers come back with wins in the last 2. Capella gets our scoring started here tonight. Something that they want more of. They only got 3 in game 3. Another miss. Here comes Young. Here's Bogdanovich from the wing. That one's good. In this first quarter, that's another empty set for the Sixers. Philadelphia really struggling right now. They're off to a 1-for-8 start. Up top, Capella from Young.
Easy basket down the lane.
Talk to us about the Sixers without Danny Green. A lot of Korkmaz, a lot of Matisse Thybulle as well in this one. As Bogdanovich drops a 3. Well, terrific honor for a player in his second year out of Washington. He and Embiid, second team all defense. Bogdanovich, the turnaround is good.
Line up now, but Steph will keep an eye on that and kind of give us an update once she finds out.
See Trae Young back with that tape on his shoulder. There's Collins. Nice feed.
Regularly in the lineup together, because it's a challenge for them on the defensive end.
Hawks go small here, trying to light the fuse. There's the floater by Trae Young. Trying to stop. It's a major question every night. Embiid had 8 assists in game 3. It's a playoff career high for him. Open is Young. Over Simmons. And it starts with Embiid passing out of the double team. Now Trae Young gets some space. There's another one down for Young. 10th trip to the playoffs. Now in round 2 for the second time. It's still the interim head coach coming out of that timeout. They get a lob to Capella. Maxey will sit as well. Knock down a triple. Got the 3 top defenders as Collins gets by Thibault. A little over 3 seconds separating the clocks here. Young looking for Herder. He's open. Korkmaz lost him. And that one's good. Herder knocks down a 3.
Score, but more importantly, they will lock in on the defensive end.
Embiid and Simmons combined for 22 in that third quarter in game 3. Bogdanovich hits a 3. Trae Young's only been to the line once tonight. He's 0 for 2. Just that one trip. Working with Capella. He'll take it himself. Little floater is good. Simmons touch over 6'10". Trae Young at 6'1". Young gets stuck. Gives it to Capella. Nice find. Curry coming off a 12-point game in game 3. There goes Collins. Strong finish by John Collins. Same deflection, I guess, but gets it back. A little bit of a scramble here. Got a 5-on-4. Here's Herder now for 3.
Forward to make that play. That was Joel Embiid once again showing off his passing ability.
Here's Young. Floater is good. Embiid hits the deck again. Back comes Atlanta. They're down 5. Trailed by 18 in the second quarter. Gallinari. He's got it. Earns his rest. 4-point game. Young finds a combo.
Almost a travel that Philly has gotten away with, and then they converted on the basket. And Trae Young.
Embiid now 0 for 8 in the second half. Still sitting on 13 as Young floats it in. Young can't hit it. Capella comes away with a loose ball on the board. Young running with Capella. Down it goes. Offensive rebound. Now Young will reset. Gets by Simmons. Whips it. Collins, three.
Everything has been short in the second half for Embiid.
Young leaves it. Floater is good.
Especially falling back, that he had explosion in those legs.
Trae Young answers on the other end. So Trae Young.
Embiid not settling early to take that jump shot, went right into the chest of Capella.
That little floater by Young on the other end. The Stars are out already. Only had 4 the entirety of game 4. Got more turnovers than made field goals in this quarter. Finally gets one to go. Trae Young. Trae Young leads the Hawks with 14. Atlanta just scuffling, shooting the basketball right now, under 30% as Collins laces one up.
Trae Young can make 7 floaters. Atlanta will win. Right now, I think he's stuck on 2.
I wonder if Embiid heard that as well. I'm sure he did.
They're into the floor.
Young now 10 of 12 from the foul line. That's a turnover as Young will score it. And Atlanta gets a little something going here. He's averaging 23.6 points per game in the playoffs. Finds Collins, does Young, and a corner 3 for Atlanta. Inside to Collins. Kicks it. Young now. Simmons all over him. Late clock here. And a long 3 is good. Trae Young. Curry, Korkmaz, Embiid. Bibles hit a couple of threes. 11 3-pointers for Philadelphia tonight. They're 11 of 22. There's a scramble.
From behind the arc. I think this might be his 3rd or 4th game with 5 3-pointers.
Donovich knocks one down. Nice find by Embiid. Young cashes one in.
That's when you know you roll in BA. He started to play on the opposite side of the block. Came over, ended with the play and the score.
The lob for Solomon Hill, set up by Trae Young.
What it feels like to compete at that high level.
Gallinari. Simmons. Jump shot is good. Nice stroke by Danilo Gallinari. Embiid's now made 20 straight free throws going back into game 4. Made 11 in a row here tonight. Got 37 points. Lou Williams keeps it rolling. Lou Williams. A little mid-range jumper. It is a 12-point game. Trae Young behind the back. Collins for 3. Oh, off the window. John Collins with a 3-point in his way. How about that dish?
Yeah, but sometimes under duress, you don't think about it. You just let it go.
Young guarded by Curry. Gets fire. The floater up top. Wow, what a shot for Trae Young. Embiid is down.
Kind of gotten back in this game. See the end of this play here when Embiid into the play.
Simmons now checks Young. Trying to get by him. Does so. Layup is good. The speed dribble by Trae Young.
And give it to him on the block.
Hawks down 6. Young with the ball. Building on him. Gets by him on the screen. Here he goes. And Young scores again.
His points, even though he put up a lot, have been quiet early on, but it's been really loud
in this arena right now. 2-possession game. Young, the floater, and gets it to go. It's a 2-point game. It's on the floor together. Young isoed with Thibault right now. Got him in the air and a foul. And Trae Young will go to the line. What a comeback. This is unbelievable. Young will shoot 3. Sixers had it all going their way. Embiid and Curry with big nights going. And suddenly, and a chance to take the lead at the 126 mark. Atlanta is in front. Just to extend a run for Atlanta and make it a 2-possession game. And Trae Young in that one to even up this series. Young knocks them both down. He's got 39.
Scott Foster, Pat Frere, James Williams, our crew tonight.
Shot clock at 4. Face-up jumper. Collins rattles around and drops. Young defended by Ben Simmons as he has for a good part of the series. Here's a lob to Capella. 6-0 Atlanta. He's 4 for 17 though his last 2 games, but you got to figure at some point he's going to get going based on his history. Here is the floater from Trae Young, his first field goal attempt, and 4 points now for Young.
He's averaging 13 foul shot attempts a game in this series.
Young tried to draw the foul, hits the shot, thought that there was contact, did not get the whistle.
You have to worry about him from the top half court to the top of the three-point line, because he'll do that. Stop quickly.
Now Thibault comes into the game, and there's the floater again from Trae Young, and that's against an excellent shot blocker from behind Matisse Thibault. Joined the staff in November as an assistant after getting fired in Indiana after 4 years there as the head coach. The Hawks lead by 7. Here's Young with the alley-oop to Capella for the throwdown. He's 2 for 6 from the floor, and no offensive rebounds there for Philly.
That's a good point.
Both Simmons and Harris on the bench. Nice Trae! Another than 3 for Trae Young.
Well, it's difficult to understand what has happened because in the first 4 games, Harris was on fire.
There's Trae Young again, finding a way to get into the paint, this time using his left hand to finish. Missed 3 by Milton. Here's Young in transition. Blows right by Maxey. Right off the window, kisses it home. He's got 15 here in the first half. Second foul on Bogdanovich. 13th foul, a steal by Trae Young. Young in the open floor goes. Oh! What a move by Young! Brilliant. And it's in the hands of Trae, being defended by Simmons.
Since he's come into this game, all of a sudden Atlanta is on fire.
Young probing, spinning, and tried to feed it inside, knocked away by Embiid.
Oh,
by Young!
baby.
He pats it right to Capella for the dunk. 17 points.
Now keep an eye on the vision here. There's the knockout and then right back, because he's one of those unsung players at 6'7" who can make the 3, and also he's all over the floor offensively.
What another gorgeous
Nice.
look by Trae Young, and Herder finishes. That's 6 assists in the first half now for Young.
Give Capella a lot of credit. He overplayed, top-sided Embiid so that they could not make the pass.
Young hits Herder, his 3. Herder catching fire late in the first half.
He's 5 for 10 from the field, and he's 2 for 2 in the 3-ball. So he's feeling it.
Young from the logo. Oh, Young! Trae with a 35-footer. 14 shooting.
Now just keep an eye on this. This was from the mezzanine, and he shot that, no hesitation at all. And 58% in the 3-ball, and he's just backing it up all in this game.
Young lob pass to Capella. 7 points here in the quarter for Embiid, 8 in the first half. Bogdanovich tries, flips it up and goes. Bogdanovich with 5 points here in the third. He thought he was fouled on the play. Here comes Young. Looking for his first basket of the quarter. Lobs. Oh, Collins with one hand on top of Embiid. Oh, my.
Now this is just a great pass, but a terrific athletic move. Anytime that you can go over a 7-foot guy at 280 pounds, this is a great jumping. How about the catch? And then the slam through. Unfortunately for Embiid.
Embiid goes right at Capella, lost the ball. Hawks in transition. Young gets the layup to go.
The first 4 games he averaged over 21 points. And then he struggled in game 5. But tonight, he's right back in that production mode.
There's Trae Young, another deep triple.
Looks like he's always shooting by himself. You know, he's always moving to the free area.
And it's always going in.
Yeah.
Gallinari got positioned deep that time. 5 quick points for Danilo Gallinari, former top 10 pick of the Knicks back in 2008.
Big thing now, the Hawks. Pay attention now. Get a high percentage shot.
Here's Young. Oh, what a play by Young. Embiid may have even gotten a piece of that, and it still went in off the window. Here's Trae Young, 28 points, 11 assists. Young, another deep triple for Trae. Young sees it. Timer's at 5. Drives, tries to pull it back, getting bumped by Maxey. Young lets go of it. Oh, he got it! Nice Trae! Gets the Hawks within a point.
with another triple. Atlanta back within a point. And now Harris. Young trying to draw a foul on him. They got to go here. Herter going to try it too. It's good.
And Young. Bogdanovich looked good in the pregame warm-ups and able to give it a go here for Game 7 as John Collins gets our scoring started tonight, Jimmy. Last time the Hawks were in the Eastern Conference Finals, 2015. They got swept by LeBron and the Cavs. They're hoping for a return trip. Up top, that is the lob for Capella.
Thibault, the coaching staff really encouraged him to look for a shot more. That time able to knock it in.
Collins, boy, nice move. Able to score it off the window.
Either during the course of the game when he's in or bring him out around timeouts and things like that.
Young playing with Lou Williams. First minutes for the Atlanta native. Williams around and down it goes. His first 4 shots. Bogdanovich back on the floor with Young. Young for 3. Got it. Trae Young.
It was a correct call by the officials to rescind that foul.
So Tobias Harris just knocked down a technical foul shot. We're tied, and we are untied as Clint Capella gets free inside.
Kind of reaching, and Tobias felt his body transitioning. And see about transition. Trae Young once again.
Biggest lead for the Sixers, just 3. And a wild ride this series. Now in Game 7 again, it's Capella from Young.
Hence, he's going to settle a lot more. And you got to know this as a defense for jump shot.
Oh, look at this pass. And Capella throws it down on a rocket from Trae Young. Right back comes Young to Collins. And after the made basket and the euphoria of Wells Fargo, after that jam by Thibault, Atlanta wasted no time.
Well, Trae Young pushed it up, got an easy basket, and then Lou Will steps in with the steal.
The floater is good for Trae Young. Young lets Thibault go by, hits it. Jimmy, just his 3rd made basket of this game.
Tobias not able to capitalize down the lane.
Young, little hesitation, little floater is good. So Trae Young coming to life now. On Father's Day, Doc Rivers takes out his son-in-law for George Hill. A scramble now, late clock. Up top, Capella throws it down. Set up by Trae Young. And the Hawks lead by 3.
Peripheral vision made him shoot that shot a little hard.
2.5 to go, long 3 on its way. And Trae Young! Ice cold delivers a 3.
Especially when the ball is in his hands, not afraid of the big moment. We've seen that in the past. This is when your players, your big time players, your money players step up and make plays. And Trae Young, again, etching out.
Philadelphia cannot advance it at this point. Young calmly knocks down the free throw. 5-point game here. And then knocked out the Knicks in 5 in round.
In a Game 7 on the road. And that is a issue that they're going to have to address, because the process has all been about these young men growing together and competing for a championship. And you've gotten yourself to the best record in the Eastern Conference, but not able to get over the hoop because of the mental challenges of your second best player. That has to be addressed.
Well, just an agonizing delay here to get to the finish line. That debris coming on the floor, they'll just put it in bounds. The clock's going to tick. And Atlanta, your Hawks, are headed back to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 6 years. Nate McMillan and the Atlanta Hawks win Game 7 on the road in Philadelphia. And it'll be Hawks-Bucks Wednesday on TNT for the right to go to the NBA Finals. What a performance by Atlanta on the road. Their 5th road win in these playoffs, Jimmy.
They shot 39% as a team during the regular season.
Hawks started out hot Game 2 against Miami in the opening round series as Trae Young gets the roll. Now Giannis fires for 3. The battle for the rebound, and Collins comes away with it for Atlanta. Lead pass to Capella, who was able to beat everyone down court.
What a beautiful lead pass there by Trae Young as well. They started tonight 1 of 6 from downtown.
How about Trae Young on the rebound and the putback?
Him trying to stay in front of Drew Holiday is going to be very challenging. Something to watch to see if Nate McMillan makes a move here.
Young gets into the lane. No problem. Trae Young again.
High school numbers retired? I mean, what's going on at this high school? Are you serious?
He's saying there's some chicanery involved here as Young takes all the way. Collins sets the pick. Trae Young goes right at Portis and scores.
How about that screen and roll? Played that beautifully, other than giving up the ground. He has a little bit more force once he gets in the paint as Trae Young, another teardrop floater.
Young with a deep three, yes.
Just their second made three of the game.
6-point lead to the Bucks. Team defending on Young. Young loses him behind the screen from Capella and knocks down a three.
Starting to warm up here, right?
The lead is down to 4. Nice pass. Young sets it up for Capella.
And see what happens when you knock down those floaters and knock down those threes. Look how physical Holiday is being with Young. Uh-oh.
Herter for 3. Yes.
How about the pass, though, by Trae Young? Behind the back. I think he surprised himself after that quick move on Gallinari.
Nice handle.
Oh, my goodness.
Here's Young, yes.
Wow. Wow.
Some guys would stop shooting, but he hit the big one down the stretch. Young again. Again, it's a 2, had a foot on the line. 16 points for Antetokounmpo. He's 2 of 3 at the line. Capella with a nice move. Clint Capella puts it down. Giannis tried the bullet pass, broken up by Bogdanovic. Here's Young with the lead, and Collins does the rest. Here's Trae Young going behind the back. Young into the lane. Young is able to get the roll. And Mike Budenholzer wants to talk things over. Lopez had a knocked away. Good play by Collins. Back it goes to Herter. Young fake behind the back, and then on the drive is able to score. What a spectacular play by Trae Young. Basically is a righty, dribbles with the right hand, but on the drive he goes to the left. Here's Young setting it up for Collins.
That was a pass, too. That was not a shot there by Trae Young. Wow.
Touched by Capella. It'll be Bucks ball.
Young knew that Collins was going to roll hard all along. So he threw this above the square and let the athleticism of Collins do the rest. That is a beautiful play there by Young.
Young looking over at head coach Nate McMillan as he comes across with 4 minutes to go here in the third. Young puts the speed on, lays it ahead for Capella. 79-75 Atlanta. Young into the paint. Goes right at Portis, looking him straight in the eye and shooting the teardrop.
So how are they going to find an answer for this man right here? Oh, my goodness.
All right.
Oh, no, he
Young
didn't.
with a little shake
No,
of his
he didn't.
shoulder and
No, he
hits the
didn't.
3.
No, he didn't. He just shook his shoulder.
In this game, it's been free-flowing. Look at this move. Take your time. Now a little shuffle. And then let's see. Okay, I'll shoot the 3.
It's been Holiday as the primary scorer.
Pretty pass. Capella on the setup.
See, this is when you can run the high screen and rolls before the defense is set.
Hesitation move by Young. He hits it, a foul. What a play by Trae Young off the hesitation. It's not the shot the Hawks would be looking for. Here's Young into the lane. Finds Collins for 3.
Timely 3.
John Collins from the left-hand corner. Young working on Holiday off the screen from Capella and score. That came up with the air ball. Usually a good free throw in this first quarter. 5-point Buck lead. There's Young for 3. Yes. Holiday all over Young. Collins sets the pick. The lead for Collins, and he lays it home. They have terrific chemistry.
They do.
Bogdanovich whips cross court. Now Young on the drive. And got it over.
Milwaukee's doing all this without the services of the guy who just missed that shot, Chris Middleton, who has struggled in games 1 as Bogdanovich. And maybe that's it.
With the outstretched hand to the top of the circle. Lopez right on him. Now Young with a deep three. And I mean deep.
That was like a 35-footer.
Young working off the screen and hits.
We talked about a deep three. Look at this one. Wow. 35-footer. Then Lopez in that drop position. He did a much better job in game 2.
5 on the 24. Young wide open. No shimmy though. And hits. In this series after sitting out the last 3 games against the Nets. Here's Young with the he and Young in the backcourt. Trae Young guarded by Bobby Portis with a beautiful move. And hits the, it's a 2, had a foot on the line. And again, it's Giannis picking him up defensively. And Young able to look him in the face and hit the 3. And it's last touch by Giannis, who is arguing the call. You better be careful here. Goes right at the official, Kevin Scott. Giannis is 17% from three-point range in the playoffs.
It's another weapon for Young.
He's open in the corner. Had a lot of time again. And converts from downtown. Shot clock is at 5. Here's Young putting the speed on. He scored. Defending on Giannis, who lost it. Young comes up with it. Puts the speed on and then pulls out. Played by Forbes. Gallinari for 3. Yes. The foul on Lopez. The guards, here's Young for 3. And hits.
Lopez had those 4 blocks at the defensive end and then gets rewarded at the other end.
Nice pass.
Yeah, for Trae.
Up the step now and scores. Plus the foul.
Here's Trae Young battling on that right ankle. Finally gets into the paint here. You see the contact from behind. Able to get it to go here.
Young puts the move on Holiday. Here's Young down the lane and scores. He's actually missed 2 straight shots. Reddish from the other corner. Cam Reddish with consecutive 3s. To the Raptors, that was back in 2019.
So they do find a way to get to the finals. Doing it without Giannis as Bogdanovich.
Reddish for 3. Yes, that's his 3rd 3. Cam Reddish. It's a 16-point lead for Milwaukee. Reddish cuts into it by hitting a 3. Crowd has come back to life. Young protecting the dribble. Collins, yes, and a foul.
Along with 7 rebounds as well, marvelous.
Here's Young, got the step and hits.
No shot blocker.
25 for Holiday, along with 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Reddish for 3.